Okay, this is kind of like part 2 in my multiplying polynomials video here. And in the first one, we talked about how to multiply polynomials using tiles. And now I could just want to continue and transfer that knowledge and just kind of use how we got this and transfer it to what I call over here my box. And usually my box isn't this big, but we're going to use it right now. So what I do is I want you to understand and classify this information kind of like that. Oops, let's scoot them over just a tad. And so if you notice my box, everybody's kind of separated into there. This times this, this times this, this times this, and this times this, and in this area. And so now what I want to do is, now that I understand and I have the foundation of why everything is kind of like why this piece is here, why this piece is here, why this piece is here, and this piece, now I want to take that information over here and I want to do what I call the box. And let me just kind of draw my box first. So first thing is I just draw a box. And because it's a binomial times a binomial, now that's a 2 by 2. Let me finish drawing this and then I'll show you my two pieces that I'm talking about. So because there's two pieces here and two pieces here, notice there's two boxes this way and two boxes this way. And again, I'm going to right across the top, we're going to go x plus 4. And I like to keep the plus right there. And then the x minus 3. And again, keep the minus right there so I don't forget who's who. And so what I do is I just copy all this information over here. So this is the x squared term here. So that's x squared. And if you remember from our last video, that's because x times x is x squared. And therefore x times x is really x squared. So what we're doing here is we're using the tiles in our head, but we're just writing down how many pieces go here. Okay, so let's continue. What's 4 times x? We wrote 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. So again, we'll write 4x here. So let's try this without the tile. Pretend you're not looking at the tiles right now. What's x times negative 3? It's negative 3x. And what about 4 times negative 3? It's negative 12. If we really did this right, then these two boxes down here, these two stuff that we filled in here, should match what we have down here. So do we have 1, 2, 3, negative 3x? Yep, we do. And do we have 3 times 4 is 12, but they're all red, so that makes it negative 12. So the same information is done over here, except for now we're doing it with a box without the tiles. And so all we did is we just said this times this to get what's in here. To fill in this box, we look all the way up and all the way left. And so this is called the area model, or these, the science teachers at my school call these Punnett squares. And so it's really just an area model, with this being the length of the height, and this is the length of the base. So x times x is x squared. The area of this rectangle right here is supposed to be x squared. 4x, negative 3x, and negative 12. So a really great organizational tool, because if I gave you a trinomial over here, trinomial 1, 2, 3 times a binomial 1, 2, all you're really doing is adding more squares to this piece here. So, and then we do the same thing. X squared, 4x plus 4x, negative 3x, minus 12, minus 12. And notice again, we just have the same like terms. They appear here and here. And then there's our answer. So now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to try the same exact example that I gave you the last time, except for this time, try using the box and see if that makes more sense. So that's my example on using the box to multiply polynomials, and I really like it because you're not restricted to a binomial times a binomial. And I hope you understood this, and if you have any questions, comment and I'll try to answer back.